let's talk about the budget, right? Obviously, the government put a lot of work into coming up with a proposed budget. They started off by preparing a budget strategy paper and engaged with the relevant stakeholders and came up with the transitional budget, right? So the minister speaks to a lot of initiatives that they plan to undertake during this period. And if you could just briefly touch on some of the key priority areas and also on how they will help in driving driving the government's plan to transition the Botswana economy from an upper middle income one to a higher income earning country.
Yeah, I think if you look at the NDP 11 coming to an end, end of this fiscal year, and the growth that was achieved, it fell short of, as I mentioned earlier, it fell short of the growth that was targeted, and more so it fell short of the 5.7% annual average annual growth that we should achieve as a country to reach in order to reach a high income status by 2036. The average growth throughout the NDP 11 was 2.7%, so there's that 3% shortfall, and that somewhat is what necessitates the need for the transitional national budget. And obviously with the budget, the government is trying to heat up the economy and speed up growth so that we can at least fast track growth and be able to reach our overall vision 2036. So for the transitional national budget, the minister did speak about 6 key areas. I think we'll just talk about 3 of those, particularly being the business environment reform, pairing that with value chain development. So the government is obviously looking at ways to try and improve the ease of doing business in our economy, and that will inevitably attract foreign investors. It will also support local industry to grow and inevitably increase output and be able to contribute to us reaching the levels of growth that are required for us to reach a high income status by 2036. And if you pair that with value chain development, there's a lot of opportunity. If you look at our stance in terms of what we export as a country, and also some of the activities, the economic activities that we indirectly export by exporting raw materials, diamonds, beef as an example. So the value chain development is really meant to try and entrench value and capture some of those lost revenues and lost employment opportunities that we indirectly export, and obviously that would propel again us to a high income status by 2036. And I think if you look at those 2 and then you bring in the infrastructural development, which is also one of the key priority areas that the minister spoke about, obviously with improved infrastructure around water, electricity generations, roads, and rails, all of those mean a safer or a more conducive environment for businesses to carry out their daily operations without interruption, and be able to also achieve one of the key agendas that the President spoke about in the 2022 State of the Nation address, which is really to transform our economy into an export-led economy. So those 3 for me sort of underpin and indirectly link to that agenda.